Hi, my name is Vincent de Haitre. I'm 24 years old. I'm a two-time Olympic speed skater, and now I turned track cyclist. I think I've always kind of had a passion for cycling from my earliest memories of having a bike. I think there's even like a Christmas video of me climbing onto my brother's bike that he got for Christmas, and I wasn't even old enough to speak. I actually climbed up onto the seat and sat there for a little bit. So I think I've always kind of been inclined to liking bikes, even just like riding with my cousins and always trying to race something or someone. When I first started racing, it was actually in BMX for a few years, just locally. I was never really a BMX prodigy, let's say. I was just a big kid who liked riding bikes. This is essentially me when I first started racing, and these are rental skates, and I used to have knee pads and elbow pads, and eventually I grew up and we got all matching suits, and we all had the same rental skates. As a speed skater, I'm more of an individual athlete, where I do 1,000 and 1,500 meters an individual, and then on occasion the team sprint, and I train with the team pursuit team in speed skating, but I don't race. And what I found is, with transitioning to cycling, I had to transition to team pursuit specific training. For me, it was getting used to the team dynamic and how the team's faster, not when you're running all the fastest people, but when everyone works well together. In cycling, I compete and train for team pursuit. I focus on the start, and that's my job, as I'm the one in the gate doing the start. At least that's what I'm training for so far. My job as a starter is to get the team up to speed, and usually we get up to speed around 63 kilometers an hour is a good race speed. And so far, I've been improving quite a bit, and the coach seems to be quite happy, and if the coach is happy, I'm happy, because that's how that works. Over the years of racing and being kind of in your bubble for race day, what I found was I now have more of a feeling of calmness when I race. And I noticed when I got too excited for races and nervous, I tend to kind of lose focus of the little details you have to keep track of when you're racing, especially in cycling, where whatever you do affects the person behind you. And if you're a team and it has an effect, then you have to then change what you do in a way that doesn't affect them. So if you hear them say up and then you go too fast, then you create a gap, and then that's not good. And if you hear them say steady and you slow down too much, then everyone has to hit the brakes, and that's more effort. So it's learning these little intricacies of the team. But what I truly feel when I ride and it's going well, you just feel like the track is, you're not even doing anything, you're just pedaling as hard as you can. Obviously your legs hurt, but you feel like you're on rails just going around the turn, and you're just getting sucked down into your bike because of the G-force in the turn. This is the national team time trial bike. So as being a track cyclist, we can't always ride the track all the time, so we have time trial bike so we can run a similar position. What you see most is what goes on social media, and that's usually kind of fun. You know, you get to see amazing things on bike rides. But in terms of training purposes, as a speed skater and a cyclist, we spend a lot of time on bikes. But then on the road, you tend to have to ride in all sorts of conditions as well. So like rain, sometimes even snow if it starts snowing. Sometimes Calgary does that, just like snows and then sunshine, then hail. So there's a lot of things like that where, you know, your hands are freezing, your feet are freezing, and you try to dress warm, but everything's soaked. But obviously, I'm not gonna take the time to take my phone out, take a picture. It's like, hey, I'm miserable today. Hey guys, it's cold. But at the same time, you know that there's so many other cyclists out there who are doing the same thing, and you know you're all pursuing the same goals, is to improve as an athlete. And part of improving is finding ways to challenge yourself, whether it be physically or mentally in a sport. So if you only ever train in good conditions, then you'll only ever be good in good conditions. My aspect is you got to find ways to make things harder sometimes to be able to become better. When I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like I have to go train. I feel like I get to go train, and not a lot of kids or people have the opportunity to pursue a goal like I have. So if I were to just stop one day, I feel like I would be somewhat insulting all the people who couldn't have the opportunity that I have. And so for me, I'm kind of grateful every day that I'm still healthy and I can still pursue this in a way that might one day make a difference.